Okay, let's talk about something that's on pretty much everyone's mind right now. AI is coming for our jobs. You see the headlines everywhere, right? Robots, algorithms, automation. And it all sounds like it's designed to make us, well, obsolete.
But what if we're looking at this all wrong? What if the end of work isn't some catastrophe we need to fear, but actually our destiny? Today, we're going to explore a really fascinating and, frankly, spiritual perspective that argues that leaving our jobs behind is the entire point of human evolution. So, this idea comes from a spiritual teacher named Che Gong, and he argues that all this anxiety we feel about losing our jobs isn't really about the money. It's about a deep misunderstanding of our own purpose. He says this isn't just an economic shift, it's a spiritual one. And let's be super clear about what this means. The core idea here is that the era of human labor isn't just changing or adapting, it's ending completely. The whole concept of looking for a job is on track to become a thing of the past, simply because there won't be any work left for us to do. Okay, so that raises a huge question, right? If we're not supposed to work, then what on earth are we supposed to do all day? Well, the answer, according to this view, lies in a really profound shift in what we think of as meaningful human activity. At the heart of this whole thing is this really sharp distinction. On the left, you've got work, which is framed as this lower quality, almost animal-like struggle just to survive. But on the right, you have cultural activity, something joyful, fulfilling, and of a much higher quality. That is the proposed upgrade for all of humanity. And this goes even deeper than just what we do every day. It's about what we fundamentally are. The idea is that there are two states of being. You have Ingan, which is a human who's kind of stuck in that survival mode, performing labor. The goal is to evolve into Saram, a fully realized person who has graduated beyond labor to create culture. So what does this cultural activity life actually look like? Well, it's about shifting our focus to things that bring us joy and elevate our lives. Dressing well, expressing ourselves through art and leisure, and just generally creating a higher quality of life for its own sake. Think about the global phenomenon of the Korean wave, Hallyu. This perspective sees that as a perfect preview of this exact kind of cultural energy. Now, according to this perspective, this massive global transformation isn't just going to happen randomly all over the world. The idea is that it will actually be pioneered by one specific group of people who are destined to show everyone else this new way of living. And this mission is specifically assigned to the Korean people. They're referred to as heavenly descendants, or Hongik Ingan leaders. Their purpose is to develop the cultural programs, like the new blueprints for art, for society, for life itself, that will guide the rest of humanity into this new, work-free chapter. And the idea here isn't about force or coercion, it's all about inspiration. The belief is that these cultural innovations will be so powerful and so beneficial that the rest of the world will just naturally want to follow their lead and adopt this new path.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds a little out there, right? Like something from a distant sci-fi fantasy. But the argument is that the proof that this change is right around the corner is all around us, and the absolutely incredible acceleration of technology that we are all living through right now.
I mean, just think about the leaps we've seen in a single lifetime. We went from pagers, remember those? And those clunky car phones in the 90s, all the way through the digital revolution to the smartphone that's probably in your hand right now. And today we're standing at the dawn of the age of AI. The pace of change is it's exponential.
And this crazy acceleration is pointing to a very near future. Technologies that used to seem like total dreams, things like personal flying vehicles, fully autonomous cars, even warfare fought by robots, they aren't just dreams anymore. They're on the horizon. And these are the very tools that will make human labor truly unnecessary.
But a massive shift like this could sound pretty chaotic. The idea here, though, is that it won't be chaos. It's envisioned as an orderly, three-stage process. First, a pioneering wave of humanity will stop laboring. Then, a second wave will make that transition into these new cultural activities. And finally, the rest of the world will see how it works and adopt this new work-free model. So what's the ultimate payoff? What's the end game for all this technological and cultural change? Well, it's nothing less than world peace. The idea is that when we stop struggling against each other for survival and we start creating culture together, the root causes of war and conflict just dissolve. This is the beginning of what's called the Hongik Ingan era, a world where we live to benefit all of humanity. And so this entire radical vision of the future brings us back to a very personal question. If your job disappeared tomorrow, if your survival was completely taken care of, what would you do? Simply for the joy of it. Beyond the need to work, what is your real purpose?